Hello everybody and welcome to Minecraft Builds. I am Solhom, the gamer who's bad at games, and this, if you do not recognize it, is the Minecraft co-op world. If you are not familiar with that series, you should go and watch it so you kind of know where we are and what we're doing. But in this instance, I am going to be making a statue in this cliff, and you probably know what it is from the title of the video. I haven't decided what it is yet. Well, I know what the statue is, but I don't know what the title is. And regardless, it's gonna go right here. First things first, I'm gonna have to clear an area, so we will see you guys when that is done. Real quick before I start hollowing away the mountain, just because things look a little bit different up here, I went down to the center of the bridge where I wanted the statue to be centered, and I placed those torches. So basically either one of those will be fine, but that'll be kind of the center of my digging. So I'm gonna start digging down in here, and we'll see what we get. Alright, now my area is somewhat cleared. You can see I've done a 13 wide area, and then basically the height was inconsequential because it can go over the hill a little bit if it needs to, but it's also going to extend down a little bit as the lip to kind of give the skull its shape there. But basically the main thing you need is the width, and I'll put a photo up right now of the circle styles that I use. I use there's basically a template that I've just found off of Google. If you don't know how to make Minecraft circles, they're really easy to find if you just Google them. This is the one that I use, and I'm going with the number 13 circle, because that'll be 13 wide, and effectively, because it's going to be a sphere that I'm making more or less, it'll also be 13 tall. So it's just kind of a rough estimate, and from now I'm going to go and, well, I'm going to go sleep, but then I'm going to go rough in my shape with some cobblestone, because that's not as rare as the bone blocks that I'm going to be using. But yeah, see you guys when I have that roughed in. Don't know about you guys, but it might be a little bit useful. I have marked this block right here. This is the center block. There are 6 blocks in all directions. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes, all directions. So this will be the very center of the skull. Everything else will revolve around this. The actual face is going to be a little bit farther out, but make sure you mark this. It'll definitely be useful for you. Continuing on from before, I have now marked out the effectively 4 corners of my circle. That one I'm probably going to pull in a little bit because your head is not a complete sphere, so that one might get pulled in a little bit, but we'll see. I'm kind of going by my own designs here. We'll see how that turns out. Here's another angle now that I've got the back lined out and the top. So basically that will be the peak of the skull, and I'm kind of fine with that because we could throw some dirt or something on top later if we wanted to add some aesthetics. And I'm actually not hating how far this nose block is, but I'm still gonna, I think, push it back in by 1 or 2, and I'm gonna have to just kind of improvise on how to do the front, because as I said, I'm not gonna make a perfect sphere here. Your head is very round, but it is not a perfect sphere. Having said that, we're going to kind of follow the circle as a general guideline, so I might continue making the sphere and then just kind of cut away from it from there. Alright, before the sun sets here, I'll show you guys. I pushed the nose block, as I keep calling it, back in by 2 spaces. So I'm still going by the 13 square, but on the front, I've pushed it in by 2, and I've just kind of made this slope. We might have to alter that later, but for now that seems kind of fine, because we'll put the nostril holes somewhere along here, and it still leaves room for the eyes, and we'll do the top jaw under that. Gonna go sleep. Another view from the inside here, so we've got the arch of the sphere. Again, the front is flatter than it's supposed to be, but this part is all completely circular as it's supposed to be. This is also going to get flattened when it gets to the front. I'm just going to kind of have to eyeball that when it gets there, but I just did what I consider to be the top teeth. We'll have to like put some shape or something into that in a bit, but this is our general head shape. So everything inside of here is the inside-y parts, which we'll probably just hollow out. Alright, did a little bit of stuff here. I've left this kind of roughed in. I've added about 3 layers on the back, because keep in mind this is the center of the skull, so it will be the widest for the longest. But here I've used dirt blocks as a placeholder because I can carve those away really easy. We're going to start shrinking the back part of the sphere just to start trying to create that dome effect, but it's gonna kind of gear up pretty rapidly from here. And if I need to adjust and take away a layer, I will let you guys know in another update. Alright, got the next layer on top. So far it's looking okay. We'll have to see again in a little bit. Again, I'm kind of leaving the face alone for now because that's where you're going to want to do a lot of detail and make sure that it looks just right. But for the back of the skull, nobody's really going to see it anyways. You can make this a secret storage room or something if you like, or just hollow it out, or fill it with lava, or put a skeleton spawner in here. Use your imagination. But for now, I'm going to add the next layer, which is also going to be one circle size smaller, so the size 9 circle on your chart, which I'm going to pop up again for you right now, just in case you needed to pause and have a look. Alright, the number 9 circle is on. Things are starting to round out fairly nicely here. I'm still happy with it. We might do some, I don't know if bone stairs are a thing, but we'll have to look into it because we might do something like that. Otherwise, there's other ways we can round it out a little bit better back here. Again, you're not really going to see the back of it if you bury it in the side of a mountain like I am. So it's kind of up to your choice. I'm going to know it's there, so I might want to do something to it. And again, I might replace some of this cliff that I dug out after the fact as well. We will see, but just getting a little update, let you guys know how it's going. Alright, and with that we have the back dome of the skull complete. I might actually take the top layer off altogether to flatten it by a little bit. In fact, I'm just going to say that's what I'm going to do because it seems a bit too round to me. So this top layer here, so that's my number 5 circle, I'm going to take off, which also flattens the big 13 tall wise circle. It flattens that by 1 on the top, but I'm fine with that. That'll be done here in just a sec. Alright, we're a little bit more happy with that. That's a little bit flatter, and I started adding a little bit of dimension at the top, but that's subject to change, we'll say. Now is when we start trying to add some like cheekbones and such. I heard an Enderman behind me. Yep. Alright, and maybe start trying to put in some nostril holes and things like that. We'll see how that goes. I should mention, and I'm going to bring up the circle chart again, if you notice a lot of the ones that I'm using, basically the 9, the 13, and 15, etc., a lot of them use 5 blocks as a base side length, so you can actually switch between them fairly well. You can see this side is already 4 blocks, so I can use pretty much any of the 5 block circles interchangeably to get kind of an oblong shape. So keep that in mind when you're working on any sort of skulls or spheres or eggs, etc. Alright, just to update you guys, I'm trying to get the facial shape figured out. These are approximately where I'm going to have the cheekbones, but I might have this corner block on both sides actually removed and just kind of start it there, but a little bit further out. And I've lowered we're going to call it the teeth line by a little bit, and I might lower it by another block here. We will have to see. I'm not doing a bottom jaw on this design. I don't know how it would figure that out. But yeah, and where these are that look kind of like a nose with nostrils right now, that's about where our eyes are going to go. So we're going to have to try to figure out a circle for that as well. But it's going to be a relatively small circle. We just have to make sure that there's a single point in the center. So as far as your build goes, you might want to go for the number 3 or 5 circle on our handy chart. Alright, I went and I started trying to rough in the eye space for this, but the eye would kind of extend past the confines of the skull shape, so I'm gonna have to go with number 3 circle, which will bring this in by 1 more. I figured if I rough in the eyes, then that'll give me a general idea for the rest of the skull shape. So we'll go with a number 3 size and go from there. That's about as small as we can go, so hopefully this works out. Alright, so the good news is that the 3x3 works. As you can see, a 3x3 circle is effectively just a 3x3 square, which is fine. But now that that works, I'm going to actually just go ahead and replace that with the material of my choice. You can use blocks of coal, you could use nether brick, basically anything dark. I'm going to be using black wool because I already have enough of that, I think. Hang on. No, 9x9. I need about 4 more. I got shears. Let's go. I got my wool and I'm coming, baby. Just so you guys know, you're going to want a little bit of extra wool. I'll show you why in a bit, but right now we're just going to go with kind of what we need for the back walls to get that part on the go. Alright, I've gone ahead and replaced the eye sockets with the black wool. It looks a little bit derpy now, but hopefully that'll pick up in a little bit. Again, I've got a few extra blocks. I might have to go and get some more in a bit, and you guys will see why. But yeah, I'm going to keep trying to shape up the skull now. So I was coming around to kind of check my work here, and actually it's starting to shape up pretty good. I'm kind of happy with it. Still not too sure about this ridge. We'll probably keep it, but we'll see. I still also have to figure out where the nostrils are going to go. Probably just get like 2 single dots right there and there. I forgot those are also going to have to be wool. Good thing I have some extra, but yeah, starting to get the shape up, and then I'm just going to have to mimic it on the other side. Alright, so I came out here to check my work once again, and honestly, I ended up shaving off the front. Like I said, it's fine, that'll be fine. But honestly, where this nostril is placed, I'm not really a big fan. I might lower it by 1 and just kind of leave it there. And we might just have to extend the jaw back down a little bit to compensate, but we'll have to play that by ear. Another minor update, I'm going to have to add another wool underneath just because these single dot nostrils aren't going to do it for me. But just to make sure, I'm going to complete the other side just to make it even and see how I feel before we dink with this a little bit more. And I might start trying to round up the forehead area. Alright, so I've finished rounding out the forehead there. Obviously these dirt blocks are just a bridge for me for now. That's fine. The eyes look a little bit funky, but they'll look alright once I actually do what I'm going to do here. You could add an extra, if you want them to be extra sunken, you could add an extra line there, but I'll show you the effect I'm going for in a minute. I am going to add the extra block for each nostril there, and then we'll start figuring out how to connect the top teeth there, and then that will be build done. Alright, apparently we're going for more of a gorilla skull than anything, because it's kind of looking like a monkey skull, but regardless, I'm just going to keep falling off this bridge apparently. We're just going to kind of like round this out a little bit and kind of slim it down. But since this is going to be the top teeth, I might recess this by 1 more just to keep this nice and round, and then we can make this into kind of a teeth pattern at the bottom. But I think it's actually, you know what, for my first kind of attempt at this and for flying without any sort of guide or anything, I think it's looking good. And also, just to make the next update a little bit more worth it, I'm going to add the surprise in this step. We just had a creeper incident in here, so remember to light the inside of your skull. And try to get rid of the grass, maybe. Alright guys, you ready? There we go. We're going to have to carve some of these into teeth, so basically we're going to take out that one, probably the middle one, and the corner. Don't want another creeper to blow me up. And you can stick wool in there. We'll see what it looks like, but no guarantees that we'll stick with it. You could also just take out that one now. Basically, it's every second one, but we're going to take out the middle ones. I'm going to go sleep again in a sec, but the eyes I've made glow. I had to make some glowstone lanterns, and I put glowstone bricks behind, but the idea is, we'll see if we can get it to work here. I'm not going to be riding a minecart, but the idea is, as you're approaching, the eyes of the statue will follow you, and that's why you put them on a black background and a little bit out. Is it looks like the skull's kind of watching you on your way by. That is the idea. But I'm going to carve out the teeth, and I'll try putting in the wool, and we'll see if we like that. As a side note, I've also decided that this second brick in here, I'm also going to replace with black wool, just so that the eye kind of follows you from a bit farther away. Alright guys, that's, well, honestly, that's pretty much job done. I don't know if I like the wool at the bottom. We'll see what the guys think in the Minecraft co-op series. They'll make the final decision there. The last thing to do is honestly to replace the cobble, or if you used color wool or whatever, your replacement block. You can replace your temporary block with whatever you want. I am going to be eventually using a bone block, but I can tell you right now, I don't got enough. I'm probably going to need at least like 3 solid stacks of that, but I can start systematically replacing it as we farm up some skeletons and clear out the nether, etc, etc. But as far as this video goes, you guys can at least see the process little bit by little bit. And yeah, and also we're probably gonna end up burying the skull back here a little bit, which might save us some brick. You guys could probably do the same, just like basically cut it off where you need to and then bury the rest, so you don't have to use all of your expensive quartz or whatever. You might just like the cobblestone look. I don't know, maybe even like mossy cobble would look nice. We might stick some vines on this. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, replace it with what you want, and that'll be job done. But yeah, there we go. last part of this video, I'll be doing a drive-by just to show you what it looks like staring at me as I go by.